Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, we're talking about a coin you may have seen 1,000 times, the 1989 1-cent coin, or as most of us call it, the penny. But hold on, don't dismiss this one as just another copper penny. What if I told you that this particular penny, the 1989 version, could be worth an incredible $756 million? That's right, this ordinary penny might just be worth millions. And we're about to break down exactly why. In today's video, we'll take a closer look at the history, the value, and the rare minting errors that could make the 1989 penny worth far more than its face value. So, stay tuned, and let's dive right in. First, let's talk about what the 1989 penny actually is. The 1989 1-cent coin is part of the long-standing series of U.S. pennies, with the portrait of Abraham Lincoln featured on the obverse, the front of the coin. Lincoln has been the face of the penny since 1909, and his image remains iconic on the modern penny today. On the reverse, the back, of the coin, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was used on U.S. pennies from 1959 until 2008, when it was replaced by the Union Shield. The 1989 penny follows this traditional design, and it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, indicated by its lack of a mint mark, and the Denver Mint, indicated by the D mint mark. At first glance, the 1989 penny doesn't seem to hold any special value. It's made primarily from 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, a standard composition for U.S. pennies in modern times. As a circulating coin, it's easy to overlook this penny among your spare change. But as we dive deeper into the topic, you'll see how this 1989 penny could be far more valuable than just 1 cent. Let's start with the regular value of the 1989 penny. In everyday transactions, this penny is worth just 1 cent, its face value. It's the same as any other penny you might come across, and like most coins in circulation, it isn't considered rare or valuable unless it has a unique minting error. Most people view the penny as practically useless given its low value and the constant debates about whether or not it should continue being minted. You've probably tossed countless 1989 pennies into your pocket, wallet, or jar without giving them much thought. However, what makes the 1989 penny so intriguing is the possibility of a rare error or flaw that could cause this coin to be worth far more than just its face value. And that's where the idea of a $756 million penny comes in. So, let's explore the concept of minting errors and how they can turn a simple penny into a fortune. You may be wondering, how can a 1989 penny be worth $756 million? The answer lies in minting errors. A minting error occurs when something goes wrong during the production of the coin. This can happen if the coin is struck multiple times, not aligned correctly, or if the die used to stamp the coin has a flaw. Some of the most valuable coins in history have been discovered because of these minting errors. Collectors go wild for error coins, and their value skyrockets when the error is rare or unique. A few of the most common minting errors include double strike error. This happens when the coin is struck more than once, which results in a doubled image on the coin. Off-center strike. This occurs when the coin isn't aligned properly during the minting process, causing part of the design to be cut off or misaligned. Die cracks. Cracks in the die used to strike the coin can create unique patterns on the coin, which are highly valued by collectors. In the case of the 1989 penny, there are a few potential errors that could make it worth an astonishing amount. For instance, if a double strike error were to occur, where the coin was stamped twice and created a doubled Lincoln portrait or doubled date, this could cause the penny to be worth millions. Additionally, if the penny was struck off-center or had a significant die crack, it could be worth a substantial amount as well. The idea of a $756 million penny might sound outlandish, but the history of rare error coins proves that minting errors can lead to some insane price tags. This value is purely speculative at this point, based on other rare coin sales, but the potential is there for a unique discovery. To better understand the potential value of the 1989 penny, let's take a look at some real-life examples of rare minting errors that sold for millions. These examples show us just how valuable a single coin can become when a minting error occurs. The 1943 copper penny. During World War II, the U.S. Mint switched from copper to steel for pennies due to the war effort. However, a small number of 1943 pennies were mistakenly struck in copper instead of steel. These 1943 copper pennies are incredibly rare, and one even sold for $1.7 million at auction, the 1913 Liberty Head nickel. This is one of the most famous error coins in history. Only 5 1913 Liberty Head nickels were made, and they were struck illegally. These rare nickels have fetched jaw-dropping prices at auction, with one selling for $4.5 million in 2018. The 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter with a doubled die error. In 2004, a batch of Wisconsin State Quarters was struck with a double die error that caused part of the design to appear twice. A high-quality example of this error was sold for over $1 million. These examples show how a simple minting error can turn a coin into a highly valuable piece of history. So, when we talk about a 1989 penny potentially being worth $756 million, it's not as far-fetched as it may seem, especially considering how rare and valuable similar error coins have become. Now that you know how valuable a 1989 penny could be with the right minting error, let's talk about how you can spot one in your collection. Look for double strike errors, examine the Lincoln portrait, the date, and the mint mark on the coin closely. If any part of the design appears doubled or misaligned, it could be a double strike error. Check for off-center strikes. A coin that's not properly aligned during the minting process will have part of its design missing or shifted. If part of the Lincoln Memorial or Abraham Lincoln's portrait is cut off, you might have an off-center error coin. Examine for die cracks. Cracks in the die used to strike the coin can create unique patterns on the coin's surface. If you notice unusual markings, it could be a die crack error that increases the coin's value. Inspect the condition. Coins that are in mint condition or have high-quality features are often more valuable than worn-down coins. The better the condition of your 1989 penny, the higher the chance it could be worth more than just 1 cent. Consult an expert. If you think you found a rare 1989 penny with a minting error, it's a good idea to take it to a professional coin dealer or numismatist. They can help you verify the error and appraise its value. So, is the 1989 penny really worth $756 million? While there's no confirmed record of a $756 million 1989 penny being discovered, it's certainly possible if a rare minting error is found. The $756 million figure is based on the potential value that a rare error coin could fetch in the collector market. The 1989 penny might just be a regular coin at first glance, but with the right error, it could be worth millions, especially if it's in excellent condition. So, while we may not see a $756 million penny anytime soon, the possibility of a rare discovery keeps coin collectors on the lookout for these kinds of coins. And that wraps up today's video. Who knew that a 1989 penny could be so valuable? While it's still a long shot to find one worth $756 million, it's the potential for rare minting errors that makes coin collecting so exciting. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, their history, and how to spot valuable errors, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep your eyes on your change. You never know when you might find your very own rare penny. Next, 1976 1-cent USA coin. Today, we're talking about something that might surprise you, the 1976 1-cent coin, or what most of us know as a penny. Now, we all know pennies are worth just 1 cent, but what if I told you this 1976 penny could actually be worth an astonishing $691 million? Yes, you heard that right. A penny worth $691 million. How is that even possible? Stick around because in today's video, we're going to break down the history, value, and rare minting errors that could turn the 1976 penny from an ordinary coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. Let's dive right in. The 1976 penny is a fascinating coin with both historical and cultural significance. It was minted during the United States bicentennial, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. To celebrate this important occasion, the U.S. Mint made several commemorative changes to coins in circulation, including the quarter, the half dollar, and, of course, the penny. The 1976 penny features the traditional Abraham Lincoln portrait on the obverse, front, of the coin. Lincoln has been the face of the penny since 1909, and his likeness remains on the US 1-cent coin today. On the reverse, back, the coin still features the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which was the standard design for pennies from 1959 until 2008. However, the 1976 penny had a significant commemorative touch. It was released during the bicentennial year, and while the penny design didn't change like the quarter and half dollar, it was still part of a very special year for US currency. Now, as most of you probably know, pennies are often disregarded for their low face value. But we're about to explore why the 1976 penny has the potential to be worth far more than just 1 cent. Let's start by addressing the regular value of the 1976 penny. In terms of face value, the 1976 penny is worth exactly 1 cent. In fact, this coin is not especially rare or hard to find. If you take a stroll down any street or visit a local store, you're likely to come across a handful of 1976 pennies. They're still circulating today. The coin is made of a copper-plated zinc composition, weighing 2.5 grams and measuring 19.05 millimeters in diameter. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse is also a classic design, which has been in use for decades. So, at first glance, the 1976 penny doesn't seem like it holds much value beyond its face value. But hold on, the value of this coin can change dramatically based on minting errors and its condition. In fact, certain error coins from this year are sought after by collectors and can command prices that would blow your mind. Now let's get into the potential errors and how this regular penny could be worth millions. So, how can a 1976 penny be worth $691 million? The key to understanding this lies in minting errors. A minting error occurs when something goes wrong during the coin-making process, and the result is a coin that is different from the intended design. Minting errors can vary, but the most common ones include double strike errors. This occurs when a coin is struck multiple times, causing a double design. Off-center strikes. An off-center strike happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be cut off or misaligned. Die cracks. Over time, the dies used to strike the coins can become damaged, which can create cracks or chips in the design. Wrong planchet errors. This occurs when a coin is struck on a metal planchet that is not the intended material. For example, a penny might accidentally be struck on a dime or quarter blank. These kinds of minting errors can make a coin extraordinarily rare, and depending on the rarity and demand, they can become extremely valuable. In the case of the 1976 penny, if there's an error like a double strike or an off-center design, it could make that penny worth far more than its 1 cent face value. The $691 million figure is a theoretical maximum value, based on how much certain error coins have sold for at auction in the past. This is based on the idea that the perfect 1976 penny with a rare error could fetch an incredible amount of money. Think about how much rare coins from other eras have sold for. This could be a similar situation if a particularly rare 1976 penny were ever discovered. To help you understand just how valuable minting errors can be, let's take a look at some real-life examples of rare coins that were discovered with minting mistakes. These coins show just how much one small error can change a coin's value. The 1943 copper penny. During World War II, copper was needed for the war effort, so the U.S. Mint switched to making pennies from steel. However, a few 1943 pennies were accidentally struck in copper instead of steel. These 1943 copper pennies are incredibly rare, and one even sold for $1.70 million. The 1913 Liberty Head nickel, one of the rarest coins in U.S. history. The 1913 Liberty Head nickel was illegally struck at the U.S. Mint. Only 5 of these nickels exist, and one recently sold for $4.50 million. The 1983 double die penny. A double die error on a 1983 penny created a rare and highly valuable coin. It's an example of how minting mistakes can make a coin worth thousands of dollars, with a perfect example being worth up to $200,000. These examples show that even a simple minting error can cause a coin to be worth millions of dollars. So, While we don't yet know if a $691 million penny will be found, we can look at these rare coins to understand the kind of value a 1976 penny with a minting error could hold. Now that we understand how a minting error could make the 1976 penny worth millions, let's talk about how you can identify a valuable 1976 penny if you find one. Look for double strike errors. A double strike error occurs when the coin is struck more than once, causing a doubled image. This can happen with the Lincoln portrait, the date, or the mint mark. If you notice a doubled design, it could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Check for off-center strikes. Sometimes, a coin doesn't line up correctly during the minting process, and this results in part of the design being cut off. If you notice that part of Lincoln's memorial or his portrait is missing, you might have an off-center penny on your hands. Inspect for die cracks or chips. Over time, the dies used to strike the coins can develop cracks or chips. These can create unusual markings on the coin's surface. If your 1976 penny has noticeable die cracks or chips, it could be a valuable error coin. Look for wrong planchet errors. This is a more rare error, but sometimes a coin can be struck on the wrong metal planchet. For instance, if a penny is struck on a dime blank, it could be worth significantly more. Consider the coin's condition. Even if your penny doesn't have a noticeable minting error, its condition plays a role in its value. Mint state coins, or coins in perfect condition, are generally more valuable than worn or damaged coins. Consult an expert. If you think you found a valuable 1976 penny, take it to a professional coin dealer or numismatist to get it appraised. They can help determine if the coin has a rare error and what its value might be. So, is the 1976 penny really worth $691 million? While we don't know of any confirmed 1976 penny selling for that exact amount, the $691 million figure is based on how rare minting errors could drive the price of a coin through the roof. If a rare error penny were to be discovered, something with an incredibly rare flaw like a double strike or off-center error, it could fetch an astronomical sum at auction. Looking at the history of rare coin sales, it's not outside the realm of possibility that a particularly rare 1976 penny could become a highly sought-after collectible. After all, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. And that's all for today's video on the 1976 1-cent coin. Who knew that a simple penny could be worth millions? While it may still be just a penny to most people, with the right minting error, it could become a rare collectible worth millions. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. You never know when you might discover a $691 million penny. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep an eye on your change. You could be holding onto a hidden treasure. Last 1988 1-cent USA coin. Have you ever taken a second look at a 1988 1-cent coin, also known as a penny? Now, most people see pennies as, well, just pennies. But what if I told you that your 1988 penny might actually be worth $590 million? That's right, you heard me. A penny worth millions of dollars? Sounds too good to be true, right? In today's video, we're going to explore the history, the value, and the potential rare minting errors that can turn a simple 1988 penny into a highly valuable collectible. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone who likes to check out your change, you'll want to stick around because this story might just change the way you look at your pennies. The 1988 penny is part of the well-known series of US 1-cent coins that feature the portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln has been on the penny since 1909, and his image is still present today, making it one of the most recognized coins in the United States. On the obverse, the front, of the 1988 penny, we see Lincoln's iconic face, and on the reverse, the back, the coin features the Lincoln Memorial. This reverse design was used on pennies from 1959 until 2008, when it was replaced with the Union Shield design. As you can imagine, a 1988 penny doesn't look particularly special at first glance. It's made of a copper-plated zinc composition, meaning it's primarily zinc with a thin copper coating, and it weighs 2.5 grams and measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter. By all accounts, it's just another penny, or is it? Now, most of us view pennies as insignificant because of their low face value. after all, it's only worth 1 cent. However, the value of the 1988 penny can actually go up significantly depending on minting errors, condition, and rarity. And that's where the story gets interesting, especially when you start hearing numbers like $590 million. Let's start by discussing the regular value of a 1988 penny. As with all standard 1-cent coins, the 1988 penny has a face value of exactly 1 cent. So, in your everyday transactions, you're probably not going to get more than a single cent for it, unless you happen to find a rare error coin. In general, the 1988 penny is not particularly rare. The US Mint produced millions of them in 1988, and they are still circulating today, so you can easily find one if you look through your pocket change or a roll of pennies. The 1988 penny is relatively common, and unless it's in perfect condition or has a unique minting error, it's unlikely to be worth anything more than its face value. But hold on, that doesn't mean there isn't potential for it to be worth far more. Minting errors and certain rare conditions can elevate the value of this coin by hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and in some extreme cases, like with the $590 million value, the coin could be worth something truly extraordinary. So, how can the 1988 penny be worth $590 million? The answer lies in the possibility of minting errors. A minting error happens when something goes wrong during the production of a coin. These errors can range from misaligned designs to doubled strikes or incorrect planchets, the metal discs on which the coins are struck. Minting errors are highly sought after by coin collectors, and depending on the rarity of the mistake, these errors can cause a coin to be worth far more than its intended value. Let's break down some of the most common types of minting errors that can occur with a 1988 penny. Double strike errors. This occurs when the coin is struck more than once, resulting in a doubled image of the design. A double strike penny could feature a doubled portrait of Lincoln or a doubled date, making it much more valuable to collectors. A 1988 penny with this kind of error could fetch thousands, or even more, off-center strikes. This happens when the penny is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be cut off or misaligned. An off-center penny is a fascinating collectible because of its unique appearance and rarity. Die cracks and chips. Over time, the dies used to strike coins can develop cracks or chips, creating unusual and rare features on the coin. A 1988 penny with a die crack could be worth more to collectors who are on the lookout for this kind of imperfection. Wrong planchet errors. Sometimes a penny might get struck on the wrong metal planchet, such as a dime or quarter planchet. If a 1988 penny were struck on a dime planchet, for example, it could be worth significantly more because it's a unique error. These minting errors can turn a seemingly ordinary 1988 penny into a rare and highly valuable coin. If you find a 1988 penny with one of these errors, you might be sitting on a small fortune. Now, to put this all into perspective, let's look at a few real-life examples of minting errors that have led to coins being worth millions. These rare and valuable coins show just how much a simple mistake at the mint can increase a coin's value. The 1943 copper penny. During World War II, the US Mint changed the composition of the penny from copper to steel to conserve copper for the war effort. However, a small number of 1943 pennies were accidentally struck in copper. These 1943 copper pennies are incredibly rare, and one sold for $1.7 million at auction in 2010. The 1913 Liberty Head nickel. This is one of the most famous error coins in US history. The 1913 Liberty Head nickel was struck illegally at the US Mint, and only 5 of them are known to exist. These nickels are extremely valuable, with one selling for $4.5 million in 2018. The 1983 double die penny. Another notable example is the 1983 double die penny, which features a double date due to a minting error. This error was rare enough that certain 1983 pennies with the mistake can fetch over $200,000 at auction. These examples prove that even a small minting error can make a coin worth millions. And that's why the 1988 penny, with the right kind of error, could be worth an astonishing amount, potentially up to $590 million. Now, if you're wondering how to spot a valuable 1988 penny, here are a few tips to help you identify one with potential. Look for double strike errors. Check the Lincoln portrait, date, and mint mark for any signs of doubling. If you notice doubled images, especially in the date or design, it could be a double strike error. Check for off-center strikes. Hold the coin up to the light and look at the alignment. If part of the design is missing or misaligned, it could be an off-center penny. Inspect for die cracks or chips. If you see unusual cracks or chips in the design, particularly in Lincoln's portrait or the memorial, it could be the result of a die crack. Look for wrong planchet errors. Although this is less common, if your 1988 penny looks unusually thick or thin, it may have been struck on the wrong type of planchet. If it was struck on a dime or quarter planchet, it could be worth a significant amount more. Examine the condition. Coins in mint condition or uncirculated condition are generally worth more than those that are worn or damaged. If your 1988 penny is in near-perfect condition, it could be worth a lot more. Now, let's answer the question: is the 1988 penny really worth $590 million? While this is an estimated maximum value based on previous coin sales and the potential for rare minting errors, it's not totally out of the realm of possibility. If a perfect example of a rare 1988 penny were to come to market, especially one with an incredible minting error, it could fetch a price in the millions. However, it's important to remember that finding a penny worth $590 million is incredibly unlikely. But, even a less rare error penny could still be worth thousands of dollars. So, next time you go through your change, keep an eye out for any 1976 pennies with unusual features. You might just have a hidden treasure. And that wraps up today's video. Who knew that a 1988 penny could be worth so much? Whether you're a coin collector or just someone looking through your spare change, it's always fun to think about the possibility of finding a rare, valuable penny. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. You never know, you might have $1 million penny sitting right in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep an eye on your change. You never know when you'll find a hidden treasure.